Okay, so Dave and I are walking down Broadway in Peterborough. We've just gone past the cemetery, and this is how long have we been walking now, Dave?
I don't know, 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
It's not like what I imagine Broadway would look like, to be honest. Where's the neon lights? Where's the sparkling signs? Where's the showgirls?
I thought we'd finally made it, but obviously not. It's like a leafy suburb of Peterborough. We just escaped the sort of urban sprawl, and Dave's feeling a bit more comfortable now.
Yeah, I'm in more of my natural habitat now, more of a sort of a... Well, it's not really fence, is it? But there's trees and greenery and stuff.
Yeah, so we're on our way to find this conference, Feel the Force Day, and I think we're not even halfway there yet, Dave, are we?
We're about halfway. I've got the old Bing multi-map on, so it's not so much hot Wampa at the moment, it's a bit more like treasure hunt. The only thing we're missing is Annika Rice in a tight-fitting blue jumpsuit.
Well, I've got one in my bag just in case.
Well, you never know.
So, I don't know, we'll update you again in a few moments, but we feel like we're almost on the way there, so let's see what happens.
Feel the force.
I certainly did last weekend.
We felt something.
Yeah.
Felt a few aches and pains, I think, as we traversed through Peterborough, didn't we? Through the leafy suburbs and the industrial areas. It's like a level out of Renegade or something.
It was. We did cover some miles, didn't we, as well? I think, was it 2.8 miles your Google directions told us?
Yeah, let's say 6 miles, round it out, shall we?
Yeah, let's round it out,
walking around Peterborough itself, probably a couple of miles around the convention centre.
Yep.
Yeah, we stomped some ground that day. This is a Hot Wampa audio podcast special, and we're going to focus on our little excursion to Feel the Force Day at Peterborough on the 1st of October 2016. It's Feel the Force Day 4, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not a new thing, Feel the Force Day. It's the first time we've been. So what can we say? Well, what is Feel the Force Day? Feel the Force Day events are film and TV conventions with a difference. We design our events around disabled people and make them as accessible as possible. We understand the access does not just mean a disabled loo and a ramp. It's about attitude, contact and all the subtle things that make things easier. Feel the Force Day was founded by Simon Howard and JJ Lucia-Wright. It's won several awards. It won the Peterborough Civic Award in 2015 and the Pride in Peterborough Community Spirit Award runners-up in 2015 as well. Feel the Force Day is an accessible film and TV event designed for visually impaired and disabled people. The first ever Feel the Force Day #1 attracted over 400 people and was the first of its kind in the world ever. Feel the Force Day 4, which we've just attended, sold over 5,000 tickets.
Yeah.
4 conventions, that's quite a bit of growth.
Well, it is. You know, in this region... Okay, we had a Nork on yesterday, which we haven't attended at all. But I mean,
no, Amberoo has, hasn't she?
Amberoo was there yesterday, so it'd be good to get some feedback from her.
Yeah.
But personally, I think you know, if we're talking conferences, we're heading down to London.
Yeah.
You know, so this is good to have something not too far away. We found it, you know, apart from the long walk, it was very easy to get to. You know, if you were in a car, it wouldn't have been a problem. I don't think with it. So.
It's a straightforward walk, wasn't
it?
I mean, we didn't really get lost. I mean, I had multi-map printed out, which kids these days will not understand the concept of holding a paper map and working out where you are from that paper map. But that's how we did it.
A bit of orienteering around Peterborough Industrial Estate. So.
Bit more on Feel the Force Day. They're now aiming to build their audience with more attractions and a bigger venue. Their days include tactile costumes, props, vehicles, TV and film related smell jars, plus a few new and original ideas at each event. They encourage a fun and friendly atmosphere, so whatever your disability or lack of disability, come along. Carers, support workers and communication assistants will always have free entry. So that's basically it. That's their mission statement, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think they achieved that exactly, didn't they, on the day? You know, I mean, we saw a nice mixture of people, you know, both able-bodied and disabled, and particularly I was impressed about the different types of rooms they had available.
They really did, didn't they? I mean, they had the sort of sensory touch rooms where they, I mean, we've shown some of this so far in our video, and
yeah, that's right.
There'll be more of it coming up in a photo slideshow, which we've already just recorded the commentary for.
Yeah.
Well, they had an array of toys and models and props and fan-built items from across the eras from fandom that were just laid out on benches for people to be able to actually pick up and touch and examine and gauge for themselves.
The sort of things you wouldn't want, you know, with your own collectibles, but, you know, it was nice to have them laid out so people could pick them up and play with them in a room.
If I had rooms like that, I'd have everything alarmed.
Yeah, I would, yeah. You touch my Lego collectibles, that's it.
Yeah, it'd be a bit like that scene in Moonraker when he's in the glass museum and he picks up the vase and the alarm goes off.
Yeah.
Be something like that.
But also there was a quiet room where you know, people could go and chill out, which I thought was good. The illumination was perfect for that. You could just go and sit down. You know.
I think this is the whole point. I think cater to everyone. If you're a relative, perhaps, or a carer, or someone taken out for a day, and you're going to have a busy day, taking your charge around this place, and they even make that accessible for those people.
That's right.
So they can have a 5-10 minute quiet sit down and a cup of coffee or something and just collect themselves.
Yeah.
It is so wonderfully... They think of this stuff, don't they?
Yeah, they obviously everything was planned out. I mean, you had one sort of central auditorium, and then either side to the left and right you had a corridor with smaller rooms available. There was also a Harry Potter room, wasn't there, where there was different people reading to children, things like that, you know, where they could have stories, and I thought that was a good idea as well.
Yeah, I mean, talk about value. I mean, it did feel a bit low-key, but well done still. I mean, in the queue outside, you basically stood there queuing up outside various food vendors, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I commented when we were there that I was getting hungry because all I could smell was hot dogs and burgers and chips. And,
pulled pork. And
yeah, some great stuff. So, unlike some of the bigger conventions we've been to, you're not queuing for an hour just to be ripped off, because it was all quite reasonably priced, wasn't
that's something we got a photo of the, I think the price list for tea and coffee. Everything was £1 on that list. And I mean, that's superb value.
Exceptional value. I mean, it's like it was only £4 to get in.
Yeah.
And as they said in their own statement, I mean, if you're a carer or a support worker or a family minder or something, taking someone there, you're free.
Yeah. I
mean, they're so wonderful in that respect. I mean, you've mentioned, we walked from Peterborough railway station, and that was close to 3 miles. Let's say 2.7, 2.8 miles. Who cares about the odd bit at the end? Let's say it was 3 miles. One of the reasons we did that was partly because, I mean, I didn't know where it was, and I can't map read and drive at the same time. I'm not great at that. But also, we were aware beforehand they'd sold 5,000 tickets.
Yeah.
Now, you multiply that again. Remember, some of these 5,000 tickets will have carers and support assistants with them, and that venue only has 500 car parking spaces.
Yeah, you're looking at a couple of thousand cars, aren't you, if everyone drove, yeah.
And I'm thinking, you know, because we're both relatively fit, able-bodied men, that, you know, would it have been right for us to have taken a parking space from someone who perhaps needed it more?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, so it did seem the right thing to me to do, to walk.
And we've walked across the fens, basically. Dave with his older hitchhiking escapades back in the day, you know. Myself, I walk, you know, probably 10 kilometres a day, so...
So it was no real hardship to us. It rained a bit going back.
It did rain a bit going back, yeah. But, you know, we were in good spirits after what was a magical day, so... Yeah,
I mean, it was quite a fun walk there. I mean, the second we're off the train, I've got the map out quoting lines from Predator and Peterborough railway station. But Mark had his little digital recorder out, and we were recording bits. I mean, you've already heard the first part of our commentary on our walk to Feel the Force Day as the introduction to this. So shall we go into the second part of it?
Let's do it, yeah.
So let's have a listen to the second part of it.
Okay, we're just still walking down Broadway looking for the Comic Con, or the Feel the Force Day, sorry. We just come across 2 young dead pigeons who appear to have skewers through their throats. Things are taking a turn for the worst.
Yeah, it's put me off my corned beef rolls I've got in my bag, I know that much.
Which has reminded me, I've got a big bag but no supplies. Dave's got sandwiches at least. Let's hope we can make it for another hour.
I mean, and that sounds pretty desperate, really, doesn't it?
It did sound desperate. We were like on the way to Mordor or somewhere like that.
We mentioned those 2 dead pigeons there, that had been skewered. Do you think somebody else had tried walking through to start with, got hungry on the way, and that was a survival tactic?
Yeah, some sort of chipmunks with bow and arrows or something like that. But because I didn't see them on the way back, actually.
No, they'd gone, hadn't they?
Yeah, so... someone had a plump-breasted pigeon for lunch.
Perhaps it was like a predator collecting the bodies as trophies.
Yeah.
They did the same thing to Jim Harper.
They plucked him.
They were hanging up in a tree somewhere upside down, getting their skulls cleaned off. But that is something, isn't it? When you get Peterborough, you think, oh, we're away from the town centre, we're walking through a leafy suburb, and all of a sudden, bizarrely, there's two young dead pigeons together on the park with a skewer through the throat.
That's right. Yeah,
I mean, I know Peterborough can be a bit rough, but what on earth is going on there?
I have no idea. I hope that they were attacked by cats and somebody tried to pick them up.
Well, there were plenty of cats about on the day, weren't
there?
there?
Yeah, we did see a few cats. Yeah, that's true.
And they were looking for a bit of mischief, so we got there and we had a look around, didn't we?
Yeah.
And there were a few celebrities there, weren't they?
There were, yeah. I think the most prominent was probably from Red Dwarf.
Was it Hattie Hayridge?
Hattie Hayridge, yeah.
Played Hilly, the female Holly, for a season or two.
Yeah, I had problems here with Holly and Hilly and Hattie. So
yeah, it all gets a bit confusing, doesn't it, after a while?
But she seemed. I mean, all the special guests were really into it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found at lots of conferences, you get them. They're not accessible. They're not approachable. They're a long way off. But here, there was some live music on the day, and they were up and jumping around and dancing when they did the special guests. So it was really nice to see.
Yeah, unlike a lot of conferences we've been to, when all you really do is mill around and look at stuff and get your photos taken with cosplayers, and that's great.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that. It still makes for a wonderful day. This seemed a lot more active, a lot more interactive. There were events going on the stage. Everyone could see it. There was still adequate space out there on the convention floor if somebody wanted to get out and have a bit of a dance or a boogie.
And people certainly did. I saw Chewbacca actually dancing there.
Chewbacca and Jack Sparrow were dancing together at one stage to the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, the Blues Brothers made an appearance.
You can see the little bit of that in the video we've already released. So that's on YouTube, and if you're a subscriber, you've already had it downloaded in your feed, or you should do. If you're not, get onto your iTunes or your feed provider and look for it, because it should be there waiting for you.
I think that was one of the advantages of having the auditorium with a stage, and as it was kind of like a lecture theatre, you had banks of seating where you could sort of go up a few flights of stairs and get a decent sort of vantage of the whole place. And every hour or so they had like live entertainment, didn't they?
The dancers and the Blues Brothers and the lightsaber guys were good, weren't they?
Yeah, the lightsaber show was good. Yeah, and
again, that's in our video. If you've seen that already or not, I don't know, but I would urge you to go over YouTube and check it out if you haven't done.
The cosplayers, I mean, they had a nice little sort of meet and greet room as well, didn't they? Where people could go and it wouldn't be flooded with folk. It would be 4 or 5 cosplayers where people could go and shake their hands and have a photo with them, which was a really good opportunity, because a lot of conferences, it's so packed, you're not going to get that close, and if you do get a shot, it's going to be a lucky one through a group of people. So in this one, it was really nice that the carers could go with their sort of the people they're bringing along, and just have a shot with a couple of well-dressed cosplayers. So.
I mean, that was the good thing about the auditorium when we sat there while the Blues Brothers were on stage, weren't they? And I was eating corned beef and pickle rolls and stuff.
I think I was out of juice by then. I was a bit knackered, I think. So it was good to have a sit down.
I thought you'd done fairly well for seeing as you were having a day with no sustenance as such.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that was a rookie error. Always take supplies,
Yeah, we should have got some chips on the way back, really.
We should have,
both earned them by
fish
then.
and chips. The only low point on that is that I didn't see a cash point or any sort of, and I'm not sure if you could pay by card.
Well, yeah, I mean the Kingsgate Conference. They might have had one of them portable things you get.
They might have, but I didn't see one. But
the place was wirelessly connected.
Yeah.
The Kingsgate Conference Centre is a bit out of the way from the town centre, isn't it? I mean, as you're hearing from our audio adventure as we tried to get there. I mean, it is quite a transit. Obviously, for us, it wasn't such a big issue, but I mean, for perhaps less able-bodied people, or if you've got children or something with you, that might have been a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we do suggest in our audio commentary from it later, perhaps some sort of shuttle or something would have been
that would have been great. And I mean, there were parts where we were walking on just a grass bank on the side of the road. There weren't any paths towards that industrial area.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few sort of Star Wars minor players there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But the only one we really spoke to was Mr. Chris Bunn.
Yeah, Chris Bunn.
Now, I asked you about him, and you said you couldn't find much on him, didn't you?
On IMDb, he's got a credit on The Empire Strikes Back, but, from his own tales, he sort of said he was in a lot more than that.
Yeah, well, his own tales, I mean, what I've looked up on him, from his own tales, he's not including everything that he had been in when he spoke to us. Also, he's claiming things when we spoke to him that I couldn't find about him online.
No.
So I don't know about Mr. Chris Bunn. But, I mean, I think you found from IMDb the same as I found on him on IMDb. Actor Chris Bunn, Stormtrooper, The Empire Strikes Back, unaccredited.
Yeah, that's what I found.
Yeah. On Hot Wampa about him, miserable ex-Stormtrooper, Feel the Force Day 2016, credited.
Which is a good definition.
But I found a lot more on him. This is from the Mystery Science Theatre 3K website.
All right.
Which I think is a version of Wikipedia.
Yeah.
But it's more run by the consumer as opposed to Wiki itself. Chris Bunn started working in the film business in 1974, so before you and me were even on this world, when he joined Central Casting and has gone on to work in some of the most popular movies of all time. His first film role was in The Slipper and the Rose, and then he went on to work in 3 James Bond films.
Oh.
The Spy Who Loved Me, Moonraker and The Living Daylights. He's also worked on and in Superman 1 and 2, where Chris played a policeman in the first film. He later did numerous war films, including The Dirty Dozen Next Mission, Force 10 from Navarone, Ike, The War Years, The Eagle Has Landed and Aces High, and worked on some very popular TV shows over the years, such as The Sweeney, Minder and The Avengers. He has been in many of the very popular Carry On films as well. Mm-hmm. His most famous roles were in various extra roles for the Star Wars original trilogy. He was an original Stormtrooper in the 1977 original, and he also played Dans Boren, an astronaut bounty hunter in the famous cantina scene. Chris later went on to work on the sequels The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. When we spoke to him, he also claimed to have played an X-Wing pilot, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Because that was, I think, the point where our conversation with him turned a little bit sour, didn't it?
Well, being Star Wars fans, I mean, Dave asked which X-Wing pilot were you, he replied...
Something on the effect of, I can't remember, that was 40 odd years ago, in a rather, sort of, I'm not going to try and imitate his voice, but sort of a rather sort of gruff southern accent he had there. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was... I think at that point he was a bit like, well, hang on, I'm here for a living and you need to be paying me, guys. And I think he also noticed that I was getting the old iPod out and thinking about recording a bit of what he was saying.
Yeah, because, you know, we like the facts. So
yeah, because we tend to hit these things guerrilla style.
That's right.
And just snatch and grab, and I think he perhaps wasn't a bit too keen to talk about it. But if I'd been even an extra for a split second, for a frame of one of these films... I mean... The original Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, in the background as somebody, I don't know, a rebel soldier or something like that, I think I would remember it.
That's right. I mean, that'd be a career high, I guess. For
that would be burned in my memory. I'd be up the pub telling people, yeah, if you fast forward to 1 minute, or 1 hour, 9 minutes and 7 seconds, you can see the guy in the background with the headphones on or something. That's me.
Yeah.
I'd be milking it, so I'm surprised that he hasn't got that long thing. But what he did say contradicted something we've talked about before, didn't we?
That's right, about the New Hope Stormtrooper.
Yeah, I mean, we reported that the guy had passed away because that's the news that's going around on the internet. But according to Mr. Chris Bunn, it's not as cut and dry as that, is it?
No, the Stormtrooper in the New Hope who famously bashed his head, and it was kept in the film. I suggested that the actor had passed away recently.
Which was an honest suggestion. It was information that's out there on the internet, and we even think had the links on our social media, didn't we?
We did, yeah. But
so if it's a mistake, it's an honest mistake.
Chris Bunn, however, suggested that wasn't the case, and he's still alive and well. So.
He also suggested there's been 3 or 4 people claimed to be that Stormtrooper. He didn't claim he was in, but was he in that scene?
He was in that scene, yeah.
So he's one of the Stormtroopers in that scene?
Yeah, and he says that it wasn't the actor that was sort of credited with... passing away recently.
So that leaves the whole thing as a bit of a mystery, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I guess how many people were dressed up as Stormtroopers in that scene? Probably like 20, 30, maybe more. So I guess they all wanted to be that one.
Well, the one that banged the red?
Yeah, and probably initially that nobody wanted to admit to it, but down the years, it's become like a bit of a cult thing.
So we've got 3 or 4 claimees to that. We've had reports online that the guy has passed away.
Yeah.
We actually spoke in person to a guy who was in that scene and said, no, it's not him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all a bit of a mystery now, isn't it? We don't know quite what to think on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something you want to go chasing. It's one of those... It could be an internet rumour, because it's a famous part of Star Wars. And maybe just someone's come up with it as a joke, invented an actor and said he passed away, he was the original. Just to get a bit of attention? I don't know. It happens on the internet, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a job to know who to believe.
Yeah.
Because like I said, Chris himself, I mean, he did, I don't want to sound too disrespectful, but he didn't seem too chuffed to be talking to us. I think he kind of twigged who and what we were.
Yeah.
And I think that was when he thought, well, I'm going to close up a bit here, which I suppose is fair enough. The guy's there to make a living, but yeah. So we like I said, we spoke to him. There was also another actor who was in The Force Awakens, wasn't there? Playing an alien character. We didn't have a chance to talk to him.
No.
He's in our videos as well, by the way. So that was about as much of our interaction with the famous as such, wasn't it?
Well, I was interested to see Mark Warren. He was there. He played a character in. He plays a character in Rogue One, I believe.
Okay.
But I didn't realise that he was a guy in Guardians of the Galaxy, and if you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy, he's a key scene where Drax the Destroyer goes after Gamora, and there's a small guy with a knife, and Drax the Destroyer takes his knife, and it's quite a funny scene, and that was Mark Warren, but also he was credited as Captain America in the first Avenger film. As Captain America, when he was a weedy little guy, they sort of CGI'd Chris Evans' head onto Mark Warren's body. I don't know if it's a nice credit because he's a thin, sort of pale-looking guy, and then obviously after he takes the super soldier serum, he beefs up into the real Chris Evans.
Yeah, he's buff. He turns into the housewife's favourite there.
Exactly.
We don't mean Chris Evans of Top Gear and BBC Radio 2 or the Big What was it? Big Breakfast.
Big Breakfast, yeah.
We don't mean that Chris Evans.
Not
by the
that
way.
Chris Evans, yeah. I don't think he would make a good superhero, would he?
He's not very good at anything he does, in my opinion.
No, he sort of fades out quickly, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Even Billy Piper, couldn't keep him interested.
Kim Wilde.
Yeah.
How did he achieve all that?
I don't know.
It's got to be something to do with your wallet, hasn't it?
Well, I hear he's got kids in America.
Shall we get back to our adventures then on our journey to get to Feel the Force Day?
Yeah, where are Dave and Mark at this moment?
Where are we at this moment in time in our our live commentary from our journey through Peterborough?
Okay, so we're continually walking up Eastfield Road. Hopefully we're on our way now. Temperature's definitely rising. We'll walk past our second cemetery.
Yeah. There's a mound of earth there, so I don't know if somebody's just making use of the facilities.
No more dead pigeons as yet, but I did see an oversized man on a small bike, or an oversized bike with a big man, I don't know. Undersized. What's the ETA, Dave? For how long do you reckon?
This is step 11, and we've got to step 15.
Okay, so we're well on our way.
Yeah, 0.3 miles from this point according to Bing Maps. So we've done, 2.7 miles of it already.
Yeah, and there's some plastic sort of bollards and that down one side. I don't know if that's the queuing from here.
I think that might just be roadworks.
Oh, it is roadworks. Yeah. We haven't seen one cosplayer yet, have we? But a robin just flew past us, so not that kind of robin.
No. We have seen a discarded styrofoam takeaway packet though.
Yeah, I think it had a bit of a jalapeno and some kebab in it, but nothing left for me.
So as you can hear from that stage, I think we were getting a bit concerned.
Yeah, it was quite the odyssey by then. We were, I guessed I was looking for a beacon or something by then.
Like a radio transmission from Feel the Force Day we could lock onto.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, I think we'd just been walking through sort of suburban leafy Peterborough, albeit with dead pigeons and discarded takeaway containers lying around the road, and passing various cemeteries which had mounds of earth and were a bit ominous in themselves. And we hadn't seen signs or cosplayers. As you can hear, it was hardly a walk through pastoral England with all the traffic noise and stuff. We were constantly crossing roads and stuff, and I think we were getting a bit despondent. Did this thing actually exist, or is it a scam?
Yeah, it was a case of putting more banners and signs and arrows and that, wasn't it? Pointing people in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of an orienteering exercise to get there, wasn't it? I think we should have had a clue at various checkpoints along the way.
Annika Race sort of parachuting in.
Yeah, like at checkpoint 7, you will find 2 dead skewered pigeons on the path or something like that. Perhaps that's what it was.
The clue is under the left wing of the right one.
Yeah, but like you said, what really I find a mystery is, and when we walk back, a lot of these things had just vanished.
Yeah, it was.
So was somebody following us and collecting them up or something?
Yeah, or they were just props to make us a bit wary about where we were.
Yeah. So we got anyway. Well, as I'm sure you can work out for yourselves, we got there. And one of the celebrities we didn't expect to find there when we were walking around, and I had a picture taken with her, was Miss Peterborough 2016.
Yeah.
We can put the links into the Miss Peterborough website so you can have a look for yourself.
I wasn't aware there was such a competition, so...
What, Miss Peterborough?
Yeah.
Oh, it goes on to greater things.
Yeah.
I've done a bit of research on it, yeah. Like I said, we'll put the link in for the website so people can look up for them. So why the hell are we putting a link to a beauty pageant for Peterborough in a science fiction podcast?
Well, it's relevant to Peterborough, so...
Yeah, well, let's do it. Miss Peterborough 2016 is Fiona Cox. Fiona took the crown at a glittering live final on Sunday the 8th of May at the Holiday Inn, Peterborough West.
Wow.
So, prestigious venue. Fiona, along with the other finalists, raised a fantastic total of £2,102.40 for their local charity Sue Ryder for Paul. Many thanks as always to the amazing Deb De Silva, Regional Director of Miss Peterborough, for organising another fantastic event. Congratulations also to first runner-up Naomi Train and the second runner-up Emma Mitchell. Fiona, a 26-year-old call quality monitor, well, I hope she doesn't do a Dalek impression for that.
Yeah, we got that coming up.
Yeah, will go on to represent Peterborough at the national final of Miss Great Britain 2016 on the 23rd of September, which obviously, as we're reading this, is retrospective.
Yeah.
2016 at the Athena in Leicester. Fiona is sponsored by DDS Events. She didn't win Miss Great Britain 2016.
Well, to be honest, no disrespect to Fiona, but she looked very attractive on the day. She looked very nice, but she didn't come across as just typical, Miss World, Miss Universe, Miss, that kind of competition. So.
She wasn't a very good Dalek either.
No.
Should we have a listen to Miss Fiona Cox impersonating a Dalek as Feel the Force Day at 2016?
Let's listen to it.
Let's do it.
What's happening? Challenging
There you go, Miss Peterborough 2016 impersonating a Dalek.
Kind of like the YTS version of a Dalek, really.
You think?
Yeah, sort of first day on set.
It was a good go. I wish we'd had a go on that thing now.
Yeah,
we could have
we
recorded a great sound plug on that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that was just free to pick up. I don't know, it's just a bit... There were so many people around that area, they wanted to try it out. It sort of felt a bit intrusive, I guess, if we used it for promotional activity.
What? We're Hot Wampa and listen or you'll be exterminated or something like that.
Out of the way, Peter. We need to use this for Hot Wampa promotional activity.
It was quite a good voice emulator though, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
The only thing that could have made that more scary would have been putting Yarrick on that microphone and the resulting audio that would have... A mashup of Yarrick and a Dalek.
That would have been great, yeah.
Can you imagine that? Grown men would be quaking in their boots. Anyway... Sadly, Fiona wasn't the eventual winner of Miss Great Britain. The eventual winner of Miss Great Britain was 26-year-old Ursula Carlton, also known as Miss Aberdeen. So, she didn't get it. But she was a guest there we didn't expect to see, and I guess that helps a bit of profile, doesn't it, having her walk around? Yeah,
and I guess that's part of your job if you're Miss, whatever region.
For a year.
Yeah, so it's a good one, for just walking around, sort of promoting the area, things like that. I guess, I mean, there is lots of controversy about beauty pageants, especially in the UK. I mean, does it have a place in the 21st century?
Oh, yeah, but then are we overthinking that?
Perhaps, yeah. I mean,
This is a free country. Nobody's twisted these girls' arms.
No. Well, I'm sitting on the fence on this one. I don't really have a lot of interest.
Is it a matter of choice and expression?
Well, but when you look at the second runner-up, that just smacks of Americanisms, doesn't it? Third place at Ely College, second runner-up in Miss World or Miss Peterborough. So.
Well, I mean, we can't really comment. I guess that's a social issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
She seemed fairly happy to me. Amenable, had a photo with me.
Well, that's why she was happy, Dave, obviously.
It looked like a mashup of two celebrities, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Two local celebrities. Anyway, seeing as she was there to represent Peterborough and we were on our grand tour of Peterborough, should we go back to our adventures of getting to Feel the Force Day?
Let's hear where we are on this odyssey.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're just crossing a road bridge. The clouds are gathering. It is quite warm, but I don't know how long it'll last. We can see an industrial estate with Pumkin, so we must be within smelling distance. We should do a tour of the industrial estates of Peterborough and surrounding areas.
We've got to get to one first.
Business against crime area, so that's reassuring.
Yeah. Okay. We've got a roundabout which takes us back to the city centre. I think we're just going in a big circle here.
Or London.
Yeah, on the A1. Or if we go straight over, we've got Wisbeach, Leicester and Sleaford.
Oh, we've got two different Pumkin's entrances.
Yeah, it's the second exit we want.
Okay, so is that gate 6?
I don't know, I guess so.
Okay. Ah, there's a Sainsbury's anyway. We need a ponder. We did pass a good fish and chip shop that smelt nice, so there's chips and curry sauce on the way back if we need provisions. Not seen a cosplayer yet.
We did see a bloke with a remote control though.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was doing. It looked a bit dodgy.
Yeah. We've not seen no detonations, so I think we're going to be fine.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think we're out the blast radius now. First exit, so that's down there.
Well, Dave wanted rural. We're getting out there now. It's getting more of the sticks. But if this was a crystal maze, it would certainly be the industrial zone. So I did find one kind of collared dove that was really incapacitated and didn't really move out of the way. Either they're really hard around here, the doves, or he was on its last legs. One thing I've noticed, we haven't seen one sign for this Field of Force Day all the way here. So it could have been better promoted if, you know, if people are looking for it.
Quite my old saying, a bit of a dirty secret, I think.
It's Oxney Road.
Yeah, we're on Oxney Road, we need to go down there.
Really?
Yeah, we're on the wrong side.
We're on the dark side.
Yeah.
Near Heron Park. Haven't seen a heron either.
I haven't seen much of a park, just two cemeteries. I suppose we just kick the football about in one of them.
I guess they're a little harder heron around here.
We're going to have to go cross country here.
Oh dear. There's no path. Repeat, there's no path. So
we're not seeing a signpost. We're running out of footpaths. It's getting more and more desperate at this stage.
As long as the sun don't go down, we'll be all right. I think note to Field of Force Day, you know, they could have like some kind of minibus from the station shuttling people out to this event.
Yeah. Especially for a couple of old guys like us.
Exactly. Anyway, we were on a grass verge near a road, and we haven't seen any dog poo as yet.
Yeah, this roundabout we want the first exit on Statley Way.
Statley Way, okay. More updates to come.
So listen to Bill Oddie there doing his bird watching thing. We've had pigeons, robins, herons,
Yeah.
doves.
Yeah.
I mean, it was getting a bit like Spring Watch or something, walking through Peterborough at one stage, and it's a bit like you said, we were getting increasingly desperate. We were running out of footpath, we were getting out into the sticks, there was nothing out there but sort of wild blue wilderness or what have you, was there? And we hadn't seen a single sign.
No, and I mean, we kept up a decent pace. We weren't like
Yeah.
sort of slacking off. We were still walking at a decent speed, but yeah, we didn't really see anything pointing.
You know, I think we were getting concerned when we were looking for things we could eat en route, fish and chip shops or doves.
Yeah.
And we were concerned that daylight was fading fast.
Yeah, well, we didn't have a tent. I mean, I had a big backpack, but I didn't have anything in it
What did you
worthwhile.
have in there?
I don't know, really. I guess I had a camera and a camera bag, and that was about it, really. I had a packet of tissues. I mean, what else could we use?
I wish I hadn't taken food now.
Why?
Because that stuff in that queue outside was just so nice.
Yeah, the smell. It was.
Well, that queue was well organised though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, because we'd brought in advance online, there were people that were going up on that queue and sort of scanning tickets and sending you to the front instead of the people that were queuing on the day.
Exactly. People were
So
coming
we
to
got
us.
in quite quick, didn't we?
Yeah,
That
we
guy
did.
came up, checked the tickets and said go to the front, so we did.
Yeah, we got a band and then we were in.
Well, not banned, but I mean, we nearly got banned. But
Oh, right. We got a wristband.
we got a wristband.
Yeah.
And then we went in, so that was pretty well handled, I thought.
Yeah, it was,
And there was
yeah.
plenty going on in that queue as well, weren't there?
Yeah.
You know, like I said, there were a lot of cosplayers outside. You had the Batmobiles, a couple of Spider-Men were milling about. Jack Sparrow and Harlequins in the car park. There was that sounds a bit wrong. Makes it sound like a pub car park.
It does,
having a fight or something.
Yeah.
No, but there was a lot of stuff going on outside, which was great. I
And
mean,
the cars that we could have a look at as well. So.
yeah, the police cars and the is it Disney cars, Disney Pixar
Yeah,
cars?
cars. Yeah.
So yeah, there was a lot going on there. So I mean, that was good. I mean, even waiting to get in it, we didn't seem too much of an ordeal, really, did it? Once
No,
we got
and the
there.
relief of getting there and looking around and seeing people dressed up finally was
Yeah,
kind of
that it wasn't a scam. That we
Yeah.
weren't just turning up in some disused warehouse with a load of disgruntled stormtroopers expecting the same thing or
Yeah.
something. So, like I said, we've already released a video on YouTube from it. That was one of the that's kind of why this is late, because I kind of turned that round quite quickly. Got on YouTube. We're on about 85, 84 views at the moment. It's had a few likes, so it's got out there. Slightly better produced, I think, than some of the ones that are out there that seem to be more popular. So I don't know quite what we've done wrong there.
And I will say this: that credit to Dave, his production standards are very high. So
Well, it's amateur and it's done with amateur equipment, but you've got to try and get it to a certain level, haven't you? I think.
What does it use? An iPod?
That was an iPod Touch.
Yeah, and I mean the quality of the video is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit desperate when the camera pans. I think those sorts of things, they're not designed to be panned around. They're designed to be held static and film something that's just in front of you.
Yeah.
My old camcorder was a lot better, but that kind of got destroyed during my ice bucket challenge. It got soaked with cold water.
Oh, there we are. I mean, this camera is a lot better than the ones that have been taking pictures of supposed pumas and cougars out in the fens and stuff. So,
yeah,
you know.
What I could do if I ran into that.
Yeah.
So like I said, we've got a video out there, and we have had a little bit of feedback on there, and I did make the offer in the video description that if anyone recognised themselves in the video, to let us know, and we'd give them a shout out. One person, I don't think she recognised herself in the video, but she commented on the video, so I think it's worth giving her a shout out anyway, is Lindsey. And Lindsey commented, "Feel the Force Day Peterborough rules," and in addition to that, she gave us 7 kisses on the end of it. So that's nice of her.
Yeah. So is that 3 for me, 4 for you?
However you want to divide it up.
Okay.
3 each and 1 for luck.
1 for luck.
Okay. We replied to her, "We agree. It's a wonderful convention. Thank you for taking the time to watch and like our video, Lindsey. Stick around, as we're certainly not finished. Stick around. Certainly not finished with our coverage of Feel the Force Day Peterborough 2016 yet. Over the next week, we aim to be releasing an audio podcast, which we're currently recording and you're currently listening to, and a photo slideshow, which we've already recorded and that needs to come out as well, with commentary that focus on Feel the Force Day." Lindsey replied to that, "Great stuff, so pleased," and gave us another big kiss. Now, Lindsey is 31 and suffers from cerebral palsy. She's got a YouTube page where she posts her thoughts on a lot of things, including some film and TV. So she's got her own little reviews out there if anyone wants to check her out. The URL, I have got it for her YouTube page, but it's a bit long and mostly code. You know how some are, you get slash, capital letters, small letters, isn't it? Yep. It's one of those URLs. So I'm not going to try and quote the URL because I think it's going to go over people's head when they're listening to it.
Yeah, and you're not going to scribble it down at the same time. So
no. But I will put the link and the URL into our podcast metadata. So if you're listening to us on a device that's online, iPad, iPod, whatever, go into view full description, scroll down, and it should be highlighted there as a link.
Okay.
So if you want to go over and check out Lindsey's blog and get her thoughts on a lot of things. And what I think I like about Lindsey is, in a way, she kind of sums up to a degree what Feel the Force Day is about. That, you know, she's got a couple of really brief video clips where she talks about Feel the Force Day come, and she's obviously happy for this. And for someone with cerebral palsy, this is wonderful for them. And I think Lindsey is the character that sums that up, the enthusiasm and obviously the enjoyment she got out of Feel the Force Day. So I wanted to mention Lindsey and give her a nod and sort of say thank you for liking and watching our video.
Rightly so, yeah.
And like I said, we'll put the links into Lindsey's YouTube blog, into the metadata for this episode, so if anyone wants to check out what Lindsey's thoughts on things in life, if she likes blogging, you can go over there and have a look at Lindsey. So thank you for that, Lindsey. You weren't expecting it, but there's your shout out.
Thanks, yeah, well done, Lindsey. I think, personally, from Feel the Force, someone on their own marketing side, you know, they could have, the website needs to be improved. That's
Well, I had antivirus issues with it, didn't I?
Yeah.
Did I mention that to you?
Yeah, you did. Was it when buying tickets? Was that the case?
I mean, I used Norton. I mean, I know there's a lot of armchair IT experts. Oh, why do you bother with that? It's just a performance lag, this, that and the other. You know, I don't make transactions on any sites unless I know my antivirus and my firewalls and everything's up and running. Because it's common sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the odds are you're not going to get scammed. But even an honest website can have Trojans and stuff like that running in the background that they don't know about. Despite what any armchair expert tells you, I think it's always wise to have that layer of protection. And it kicked my Norton off. My Norton went into meltdown. It identified something in the region of like 30 security threats on their website. Wow. Now, whether they were genuine or whether it just couldn't interpret what it was picking up on that website, because I contacted them about it and they said that they'd contacted Norton to try and get it altered, but that Norton had been difficult. Which, if that's the case, I think is a bit uncharitable of Norton, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a charity event. Sort out those tech issues. How many people were perhaps put off buying tickets because the second they opened it up, perhaps had the same antivirus as me, and it went into meltdown saying, look, don't go any further.
Yeah, and that 5,000 could have been 6,000 or more. So
yeah, so how many people were put off? I mean, that's a bit of a shame, really, I think.
Yeah.
I think, you know...
That's something, I mean, they need to... I mean, I think...
I don't know if we can blame Feel the Force Day for that, because they've contacted Norton and told... But Norton themselves need to be on the ball about it, because obviously it wasn't a scam. I mean, I brought the tickets through an external, so I got them from Eventbrite because based on what my antivirus said, but I still wanted to go. You know.
But not everyone else would do that, would they, Dave? Some people would give up, I guess.
Possibly, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's perhaps something. Really, that's something for Norton.
Yeah.
Feel the Force Day. I know from when I contacted them, have contacted Norton about this to sort it out. But Norton really need to do that. Perhaps it's a peace of mind thing. Perhaps I knew inside, well, it's not really a scam, is it? But something about my antivirus flashing up, I didn't trust it.
Well, that's something for them to think about. They've got like a whole year to sort of maybe just refer people to Eventbrite or something else to buy tickets.
Yeah, I don't know. I think really it should come down to Norton.
Yeah.
I think they're based in the Republic of Ireland. I mean, I might email Norton and ask them what's going on here. And
it's not Graham Norton, is it?
No, it's not Graham Norton. But no, I think perhaps I'll get in touch with them about that as well, because it's a legitimate, valid website. It's not a scam, and they're flagging it up as, you know, DEFCON 5. Don't touch that website with a barge pole. And like I said, it does make you wonder. With the lack of publicity, signage and stuff like that, there's very low promotion to this event.
That's
when
the thing,
somebody does want to go and then gets to that stage, they're going to be put off at the last minute, aren't they?
Well, it's a charity event, low cost. You know, a cup of tea for £1, and surely there are people out there who would be more than willing to help them set up their own. You know, not only the website but other promotional materials. You know, and maybe have a blog running up to the event and things like that. You know, just some more videos, some more pictures, because it is a very low key. I know it's only the fourth Field of Force Day, but you know, we would like to see it grow, wouldn't we? And we would.
Oh, definitely.
We would like to see them have a further success. So, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I know perhaps that sort of lower key to their promotion is perhaps partly that they're keeping prices down, because it is exceptionally good value for money, Field of Force Day.
Yeah.
And they obviously don't want to make it extortionately expensive. I mean, it's a tenth of the price of Celebration Europe effectively to get in. I mean, you're talking 40 quid, weren't you, by the time we got in that? And it's a tenth of that price. So it's very accessible and it's very affordable, and I think that's what they're trying to keep. And perhaps, obviously, sort of the promotion side of that is perhaps where they're saving a little bit. Do you think?
Yeah, I hope so. But I mean, local people, surely around Peterborough there's someone who'd be willing to pick up the website and, you know, sort of spruce it up a bit. And
I mean, we're plugging them.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're doing free specials if you take a video, a photo slideshow, and this an audio show, and we're more than happy to do that for free.
Yeah, because we had a good time, we enjoyed the event, and we would like to see it grow further in the future.
So perhaps that's something they need to do. They need to maybe talk to other media organisations, other local companies, to see if they can get that.
I didn't see any like Peterborough Telegraph, Look East, or you know, Anglia News. I didn't see any sort of.
One thing I will say for this, if you go onto their Facebook page, and unlike other bigger corporate events we've been to, like Celebration Europe and the London Film and Comic Con, where it seems very cold and closed off, one of the first posts they did on the back of it was asking people's experiences and what they thought could have been better organised and stuff. And obviously there was a thread of comments of what people liked and disliked after that. So the first thing the organisers of Field of Force Day have done is gone back to people and said, well, what did you think?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as if it's a learning curve for them, and they're welcoming that feedback.
Yeah.
Very open and friendly like that.
That's definitely the overall feel of the day, I think, is fun, get involved, you know.
It's those little touches.
Yeah.
And that attitude makes you feel a little bit better looked after, doesn't it?
It
You're
does,
not shepherded through like cattle.
No, and there were many times I was just sitting there watching with a smile on my face, you know, looking at things that are going on around us. And people, as we were saying earlier, people were dancing, bouncing about, you know, and it was just a happy feel about it. And like Dave said, it wasn't like a cold sort of, you know, herded into one area, pushed into the next area. It was a really nice experience.
It was everyone there had a smile on the face.
They did, yeah.
It was great. We also got a comment on our YouTube video from Pumkin Alex.
Mm-hmm.
And Pumkin Alex commented on our video, a wonderful video. I was there myself as part of Conventional Cats. We're the Cats featured a couple of times. It was my first Field of Force Day, but had to have been the best con experience I've had. So we replied to Pumkin Alex, thank you. We'll be sure to give you a shout out when we record our audio podcast special on Field of Force Day. I asked if they had a website or blog for Conventional Cats that we can plug for them as well. Pumkin Alex replied back to us, thank you. Yeah, there's a Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/conventional cats. The conventional and the cats, capital C. Well, again, we'll put that URL in the metadata anyway,
Yeah.
because I'm sure people don't sit there jotting this stuff down when we quote it.
That's a smashing comment there from Alex.
Yeah, so I chased up conventional cats based on the link that Pumkin Alex gave us, and I've got this from the Conventional Cats aforementioned Facebook page. It says, we're a wide opening, welcoming group and we love to meet new cats, but obviously we don't claim to represent every person who's cosplayed as a cat. Defining this group is proving tricky. Our members are from the UK, Europe, Australia and the US and attend conventions worldwide too. So the simplest definition of membership is this. Do you feel like you count as one of the conventional cats? Yes? Then you do. Cats the Musical is a really useful group. I guess they're referring to a social media group.
Mm-hmm.
Not the actual music, or probably a social media group based on the musical. All original Cats designs are by John Napier. Conventional Cats is a non-profit organisation with no affiliation to the really useful group. Who are we? The page represents the UK-based group of Cats cosplayers who habitually turn up at various cons. We're also sharing photos and things of interest from our feline con-going brethren from around the world. Our cosplay group can vary from a few to around 20 cats at any one time. We're not a performance company, we won't perform the musical, but we love to play and interact as cats. Through us, we can try to contact with anyone who's been involved with our group or other groups around the world, although we can't claim to have connections for all. But the fandom can be pretty far-reaching. The page aims to provide a contact point between the cats, cosplayers, costumers and the rest of the world. It can be hard to talk to us at conventions when there's shoelaces to be tied together or shiny things to play with, but through this page we aim to let you know some of us a bit better. The UK branch of Cats Costumers started back in 2001, holding a party to celebrate the original production of Cats' 20th anniversary on the 11th of May 2001. The following year we came together for a week's events to celebrate the show's closing on its 21st anniversary, but it took a long time for the Cats fans to reappear as a group in the guise of cosplay at London MCM Expo in May 2010. Since then our UK group has grown and evolved on their own timelines, so have other Cats cosplayers, groups and individuals across the world. The page is simply for communication. They have no authority to command appearances or direct what's going on at events. After all, if you ever try telling a cat what to do, it doesn't go so well. So we saw them there, they were moving about, weren't they?
Well, and they were playing, they were running around, they were dancing, and they were lying about, doing not very much like a cat.
Cats do.
Yeah, so, but they were sort of in decent costume, weren't they? And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big musical fan, but
No.
I immediately recognised that that's who they were.
I think they came a bit out of left field for us, didn't we? We didn't
Yeah.
expect to see it. I mean, we turned up, we expect to see Spider-Man and Bumblebee and Star Wars characters, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden there's these characters cosplaying as the musical Cats,
Yeah.
the musical.
That's right.
Another interesting twist on it. I don't suppose many people pose for selfies because they do sound like quite a mischievous bunch.
Yeah.
I imagine if we'd have posed with one of them as we went to walk away, you'd find they'd tied your belt to a railing or something like that.
Exactly.
I don't know if you noticed it. I mean, there was a stage and I was down on the floor
Yeah.
sort of filming things that were going on. And you know that lizard guy that was walking around all day in that costume?
They were chasing his tail.
They were chasing his tail, yeah, which was great,
I
wasn't
did
it?
see that, yeah.
That was real novel. That really was a bit of cat improv there, wasn't it? I thought that was quite funny.
I was looking around for the litter box, but I didn't find it, so...
No, there must be about half a dozen or so of them.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that Pumkin Alex was one. I don't have names for any of the others, and I don't know particularly which one Pumkin Alex was.
No. I reckon it was the black and white one.
I think Pumkin Alex is a lady.
I think she was the black and white one.
Yeah, I'm going from the profile picture on YouTube, or a very effeminate male looking at least. But yeah, I mean, we said we'd give them a shout out, so yeah, I mean, that's Costume Cat. Again, another fun, different aspect we didn't expect to see there.
Yeah, and certainly, you know, when there was music on the stage, they were dancing around and chasing each other's tails and stuff like that. It was good fun.
And generally behaving like cats do.
Yeah.
So why not? I mean, we had everything else there, why not cats?
Well, perhaps if we start an EelyCon, Dave, we could invite them over.
What, the conventional cats?
Yeah, we could have like a Comic-Con day down at the Maltings or something like that.
Do you think they were the cats that skewered the pigeons?
Yeah, it could be, yeah, on the way there. It was like a
you
warning.
commented on the lack of avian residents of Peterborough. Do you
It's
think these
true.
guys had been around first and cleaned them up?
Probably, yeah. And some large cats in the area. Some cougars.
Oh,
The fen tiger.
the Peterborough Conventional Cats. So there you
Yeah.
go. Which is also a great name for a group, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's,
it is.
you know,
Conventional.
cons, conventional cats, yeah. Should we get back to our final adventure on our way to Feel the Force Day?
Well, surely we'd seen something by now.
Yeah, this is we're on our last legs here, and I think we were kind of thinking, well, does this place even exist?
Yeah.
Then out of the gloom of Peterborough in the distance, we came across a sign of hope, didn't we?
We did.
So should we have a listen to our last piece of commentary on that?
Yes. So we're just approaching the industrial estate. We've seen a first sign for Feel the Force Day, and also come across a burly-looking tattooed security man who may or may not be in cosplay.
Yeah, he's got what looks like a firearm in a holster, which is rather worrying.
He does look like Polish local security, but we'll see.
Now, I know Peterborough can be a rough place, but
We're back on concrete now, so we can relax a bit.
terra firma.
On the other hand, there is a sign pointing towards Wiz Beach, which is like Mordor, where we don't really want to end up.
No, we don't want to go there.
Okay, what's this, Stapley Way? Oh, he's got an umbrella logo on him, so he's definitely Resident Evil.
Keep left to stay on the Spatley Way.
Yeah. Excuse me, guys, are you going to the Field of Force Day?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what it's called, then,
That way, all the way around, you'll see a big car park and a building at the back.
Yeah. Are you going there? I take it you are.
Yeah.
Okay. I was worried you were local security. Oh yeah, listen more.
We're just waiting for the rest.
Okay. All right. See you there.
Security that's armed, yeah.
Yeah.
We were a bit nervous.
It's a serious event, you know.
You know Peterborough's a rough place, but I didn't think it got that bad. Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, armed umbrella bloke weren't so bad. I can see Batgirl and some young kids dressed as Supergirl and stuff like that. So yeah, we're on the right route. And here is Lawnmower Man. What was it, Jeff Fahey, wasn't it, Lawnmower Man?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, smell of cut grass.
Okay, so Field of Force Day, we got like some metal sort of, I don't know, what would you call it?
A barrier, railings, temporary railings.
Yeah. I mean, out of the events we've been to this year, this is the most low-key and hidden away, I think.
Yeah. Something feels a bit ominous about it, though.
I'm hearing hedge trimmers, chainsaws and lawnmowers.
Yeah.
Bit of Depeche Mode there playing in the
Yeah, that was
background
my
as well.
mobile phone at the end. Sorry
Was it?
about that.
What, Personal Jesus?
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know if that was just something that was playing at Feel the Force Day. I've got it in the background.
over the tannoy. No, it was my
Yeah.
mobile.
I've got the Benny Hill theme as mine. Yeah.
But yeah, it was, you know, that was the moment where it was a grade over a bit, wasn't it? And we were like, oh, finally we're here. And then we saw the actual building and stuff like that. And,
Well, that was a moment of hope. I mean, at this stage, we'd passed skewered pigeons,
yeah,
2 cemeteries, which were being dug up at the time. We'd come across some armed guy with what looked like a genuine firearm, like some sort of burly SWAT security type guy. Various mechanised saw garden implements that we could hear running away in the background. I expected to hear that accompanied to screams or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, it was getting grey, we were getting hungry, we were getting a bit worried at this stage. We were getting a bit nervous, and there it came out of the gloom, the Kingsgate Conference Centre.
yeah. And we saw plenty of people outside, so we knew we were on the right track.
Yeah, we'd finally arrived at Feel the Force Day, and from there we could queue and go in. So let's sum up. What do you think of Feel the Force Day in your general comments? Let's just free talk about it now. Say what we want to say about Feel the Force Day.
Well, a thoroughly enjoyable, I would say, what did we have, 4 hours or so there? I think, was it about 3 or 4 hours? It was a decent time we spent there, and I was smiling and sort of looking around all the time and thinking, wow, this is a great event. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed myself, and obviously we've come away looking to promote it to other people, saying that, you know, next year let's hope it's even bigger, more people will attend.
Although we're being objective, I think the things we think are great, we'll say are great. The things we think perhaps weren't so, we're prepared to talk about. I mean, we're not sort of, you know, deliberately going to say it's wonderful.
No, and as I said, there are certain things they can do promotional wise, and
But in all fairness to them, that's one of the first questions they asked.
yeah.
Whereas a bigger corporate event, you would just have to be shepherded through and put up with it. And if there were things you didn't like, nobody would listen to you.
No, that's right.
So it's very accessible. The people that run it and organise it, very accessible. I like it. It's got a real community feel to it.
It
Like
has,
you can just turn up there. Like you say, there were people I suspect were turning up and going and perhaps coming back later, or turning up for a little while and then going. But at that sort of value for money, you could do that. If you went to a bigger con where you'd pay, or a more corporate con where you'd pay to get in, I think you'd feel like you'd want to stay there regardless, just to try and get your money out of it.
I certainly got some grief from one of my friends at the London Film and Comic Con because I think it was there for 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and that was £18 a ticket.
Yeah.
And when he rang me, he said, "Right, I'm looking around for you," and I was in the pub opposite. But mainly because I'd done everything I wanted to do. I said, and I thought, well, 18 quid. But for this one, at the cost that it is, then you could certainly go there for 2 or 3 hours, and that would be good enough. And I think if you were a carer, how long do you want to spend walking around?
This is what I'm thinking. I mean, you don't different circumstances, obviously, for people with disabilities and sort of behavioural issues. Those sorts of people, you don't know. I mean, you've got to take them case by case, haven't you? And there might be people that could perhaps only do an hour or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But for £4, they're still going to get value in that hour.
Yeah.
It's so accommodating like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I mean, fantastic. And for an event that I think we can all agree wasn't brilliantly promoted, it had a really good turnout.
How did you first find out about it?
You.
Did I first find it?
I think you found the link that sent me the link that said, "What do you think about going to this?"
Yeah, that's probably true. Isn't
Perhaps that was just something you just glanced over and thought you'd send it my way or something.
Yeah, maybe it was
really
on.
Read it.
Maybe it's just on Facebook, and because we sort of follow or friend a couple of different events, maybe
it was some obscure little post. It wasn't like blatant and in your face. And I think we went from that to follow this up and went to it.
Yeah, and because it wasn't too far away, we knew we could sort of a half-day sort of trip, really.
Yeah, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised when I went onto Eventbrite and saw what the tickets are in terms of the cost, because I was thinking this, I don't know, 10, 15 quid or something, and when I saw the prices I thought fantastic, but then obviously they're trying to keep those prices down for a reason, because it is charitable.
Yeah.
And they want to make it accessible to people that deserve to go to this sort of thing and have a good day out of this sort of thing, I think, and perhaps that's part of the pricing. But I mean, I couldn't fault it.
No.
For the scale of it and that, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, we had a good day out. So, hopefully, next year, by promoting it as we have, because we had a good time, more people will join us and just have a look.
We'll go and see Miss Peterborough, Miss 2017 and say...
Yeah, we'll get our votes in early this year.
Yeah, why not? Perhaps we'll go and have a chat with the conventional cats this time. Hopefully they won't tie our shoelaces together or anything like that, or pick our pockets or whatever they do, follow us around the convention centre. We'll go and see them. Yeah, perhaps we'll interact a bit more with the people signing.
And certainly do the use the Dalek voice synthesizer.
We've got to get a sound clip off that, isn't it? I wonder if there's an app or something online we can do and use it.
There might be something you could, an app that you could
We
use.
always think of these things after the event, don't we?
No.
We come away thinking, oh, that would have been such a good idea, and then we forget to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's probably our last con for 2016, isn't it?
It is. This is the sort of autumnal one, isn't it? And it came out of left field, really, and we managed to get there, and that will probably be it from there. And we'll probably get back to regular podcasting coming up, won't we?
Probably in a fortnight with the sort of next regular show, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not too... we're a bit out of sync at the moment on our timing, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm not too keen on the recording the show next weekend just to get us back, because to be honest I want a weekend off.
Of course, yeah.
Because like I said, we did feel the Force Day last Saturday,
and then we're back.
We're straight onto the video. I've prepped these shows, and then I've got to turn these around this weekend, so next weekend we won't record, we'll have a weekend off perhaps. Yeah,
and then the following weekend we'll do something we're not sure about yet, but I guess it'll be a regular show to the run up to Rogue One, won't it?
Back to normal, yeah. Perhaps if there's another trailer comes out, we'll look to cover that, or a special on that. Depends on what happens, but we'll be back in a fortnight with something, won't we? Even if it's just a regular episode. Well,
maybe we'll put a poll or picture thing out there and try to get the public to decide.
We can do, yeah. I don't know. It seems a lot of effort, though, doesn't it, to get the feedback? We know we have to chase that a little bit, don't we?
Yeah, maybe it should become more of a dictatorship now.
You think so?
Yeah, we just tell them.
Well, they always choose the ones that I don't want.
I know, you wanted to see Jenny Agutter, didn't you, in Logan's Run?
And you just cannot trust the electorate. I've come to that opinion. Or they'll pick something I haven't seen. Mm-hmm. Westworld was the worst one. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you why. Wow. I'd seen it before, but I thought I'll refresh myself. So I go onto iTunes. I think it was £2.49 to rent it from iTunes, standard definition.
That's good value.
So I downloaded it to my iPod Touch, rented it and downloaded it to my iPod Touch, ready to watch it. I was sitting there thinking, right, so I can sort of take it out of my pocket. It was a bit like I did with Robot and Frank, and watch it in instalments when I can, because time's obviously quite busy, and at a premium sometimes it's a case of doing these things when I get 20, 30 minutes spare.
Yep.
I'm sitting there, going through my TV guide, the bloody thing was on Sky Atlantic the same night I'd paid to download it. So I could have Sky Plus'd it and recorded it, and that's what I did. I watched it on Sky the next day, and I still haven't watched the rental I paid for.
But do you keep that forever, or is it just a...
No, it's 29 days.
So you would, yeah.
And then once you click play on it, you've got 24 hours to watch it, and then the file deletes.
Can you watch it more than once?
I guess you can watch it how many times you want in that 24-hour period.
Yeah, because, I mean, I rent films off Sky.
Yeah.
And when you delete it, it's when it charges it. But I'm not sure if you can watch it again and again until you delete it. I don't know. And whether you would want to, anyway.
I've had stuff on Box Office before that I've been able to watch several times within a time span and only been paid once for it.
Well, that's not bad.
I did that when Battlestar Galactica, I think it was The Plan, came out.
Yeah.
One of their sort of mini movies they did. I downloaded that on Sky Box Office, and I managed to watch that 3 or 4 times in the 24 hours before it self-deleted, but I only paid for the set price. So I think you probably can watch it as many times as you like within a time span.
Well, and fans of Westworld will be pleased to hear that I went down Sainsbury's in Ely yesterday, and it's there for £3.
What, the DVD?
Yeah.
Oh, gee, I've just been ripped off all round, really, haven't I?
But you've got the best of both worlds, haven't you?
The best of both worlds in Westworld. Have you seen the new one yet?
Yeah, I watched the first episode.
I haven't seen it. I've Sky Plus still. I need to catch up on it, but it's kind of on the back burner of all the stuff we've got on the go. But
the thing is, David, sometimes it's nice to download 2 or 3 episodes before you start watching it, and then you don't have to wait. Yeah, you don't have to wait until the next week. It's nice to see a few episodes, because the one on Tuesday night on the Sky Atlantic, it certainly suggested some good ideas and future plot developments without giving too much away. And like a lot of HBO series, there were plenty of characters to get to know in a short time. So, they're going to develop, and it's going to expand over the series. I think there were 10 episodes in the first series. So.
Yeah, HBO do have a habit of doing very good sort of mini-series, don't they?
And they expect the viewer to invest in the series, not just to watch one episode and switch off. So.
I mean, Band of Brothers, The Pacific, well, they were both HBO, and I both thoroughly enjoyed both of those. And they were both series where you got invested in basic everyday Joes and characters in it, and really great and really good drama. So hopefully it will be something in that vein in the way you feel about it.
Yeah.
Did you get to meet Ed Harris's character as the gunslinger?
You did. He was in it probably more than I expected.
And what's your appraisal of Ed Harris as that character?
Well, I'll have to leave that one to interpretation, because I think, the actor is great. He's quite sinister, quite dark, but by the end of the episode you question his motives.
Okay.
So I don't want to tell too much of it, what the plot.
Okay.
But he isn't exactly what he seems. That's the feeling I've got at the moment.
So it's not Ed Harris trying to interpret Yul Brynner. It's his own kind of.
No. And he isn't the gunslinger. He's just called the Man in Black.
Okay, but we know he's a gunslinger, don't we?
Yeah.
For all wanton purposes. So yeah. Okay, well, I'll have to catch up on that.
Yeah,
and then perhaps that's something we can come back and look at in future, because it's relevant at the moment.
Yeah, and it's sci-fi, isn't it? So.
Yeah, a lot of stuff we do is so retrospective, isn't it?
Yeah.
So perhaps to have a look at something that's current might be a good thing.
Yeah, especially as we've recently looked at the movie. So.
Yeah, so to our Hot Wampa listeners and what have you, if the door's open to suggestions again. If you've got a particular showcase you want us to look at, news, reviews, all of that stuff that we seem to have to pester and work hard for. If you feel like you're charitably giving to us and sending them our way, feel the Force Day people. If you feel the Force Day people that attended that, whether you were an organiser, a steward, or an attendee, tell us.
Yeah,
and we'll read it out in the housekeeping in the next episode, won't we?
Exactly, and cryptozoology, local news stories, anything.
Yeah, the whole werewolf, the whole cougar, the fen cougar, anything like that.
Yeah,
we've had a ghost sighted down the river in Ely recently, haven't we?
Yeah, we had a case of stolen tractor as well, didn't we? So
we've got some great local. I've found loads of local.
Exactly.
I've got that one.
Yeah,
and I've found another one about a tractor crash, which is quite curious. Mm-hmm. And another one about this current craze of people dressing as clowns and jumping at the scare people.
Yeah. Well, there's more about that coming up, because I'm actually going to Holland for Halloween.
Okay.
And I will be dressing up as a clown
So you're the person that's doing this?
Well, I'm going to...
Don't do it around Ely.
I won't do it around Ely.
Hot Wampa listener Dave Powell, he put something on his Facebook status the other day about if somebody jumps out on him or any of his friends, he will personally murder them on the spot.
So a squirty flower wouldn't help, would it?
No, and Dave is 6'4",
Okay.
so he's probably not the best person to jump out on as a clown and upset him.
I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep it to Holland.
Yeah, do it in the Netherlands. Don't do it in Ely. Don't do it around Sainsbury's.
To be honest, though, where we go in the Netherlands, most people are over 6'4" anyway. So
Yeah, he's the normal round there, isn't
yeah,
he?
it's the norm. Even the women, like very tall ladies on bikes.
It's
So
strange, isn't it? And that happens regionally, doesn't it?
I do feel like Mr. Frodo when I go over there, especially if you're dancing with a young lady.
Yeah. We've recently overtaken the US in terms of average height.
Have we?
I think the UK is now 5'10", whereas the US is still at 5'9" for a grown male.
Mhm.
Obviously, there's variations along that theme, and there's sort of halfway between you and me kind of thing, isn't it? But,
Yeah.
on averages. But yeah, I think we've just overtaken them. But it amazes me. Like you said, Dutch people are really tall, aren't they?
Yeah, it's considering the land's very flat and it's quite a small population.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what happened to them. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, that's the end of this week's episode of Lonely Planet. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
More travel news next time.
Yeah, thank you to the organisers of Feel the Force Day. Thank you to Simon Howard and JJ Lucia-Wright for organising and founding such a wonderful event. If you're listening, I mean, we don't know. Thank you for Lindsey, if you're listening.
Yep.
We don't know. And thank you to Pumkin Alex, if you're listening. And thank you to anyone from Feel the Force Day, if you're listening.
Including Chris Bunn, and if there's anything you want to
Chris
get
Bunn.
back to us on,
Yeah, I know we started a bit of a bun fight there.
Oh,
Cheerful souls. Yeah, but no, I mean, I think, I guess that's just the guy's perspective, wasn't it? I mean, he's probably been asked that question 1,000 times and perhaps he can't genuinely remember. I'd remember.
it wasn't one of his favourite roles then.
No. So let's wrap this one up then.
Oh.
And we've earned our bread this week. We've earned our day this week.
Looking forward to another slice of hot Wampa in the near future.
Yeah, in a fortnight. You've got the photo slideshow to come after this at some point. And like I said, yeah, our doors are open to feedback and interaction again. So we'll see you again in around. Well, we'll see you probably in a day or two for the photo slideshow, which we've already recorded. I don't do this quantum thing because I just get confused.
Yeah,
But we'll see you back for another audio episode in a fortnight. So take care.
take care.
Bye bye.